Hello students, today's podcast is going to show you how to correctly format the Works Cited page for your Unit 2 Summative Assessment project on revolutions, and also what to insert here for the sources required on your title page. Now, if we remember the instructions, you have 2 slides in your PowerPoint that have to answer this essential question. The essential question is the use of violence justified for the sake of change? Now, when you answer this question, you're going to have to do some research. Last class, you should have found a total of 5 different sources. These could have been website links, videos, images, articles, any of those items. Last class, you needed to find 5 possible sources that you might use to answer the essential question. What you need to do now is you need to go over the sources by reading them or watching the videos. Go over the sources and you need to pinpoint at least 2 sources that you're going to be using to answer the essential question. Let's say, for example, that I really like source number 1. This is the source, one of the sources that I'm going to use. I'm going to copy and paste the link. I'm going to go ahead and visit that link, and I'm going to pull up the article or video. Now, if this is the website, and I've gone ahead and I've read over this information here, if this information is something that I'm able to use as evidence for the essential question, then what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go to a website called easybib.com. And this website, EasyBib, is basically going to help me create the citation. Meaning I'm going to tell EasyBib that I want to use the French Revolution website as a piece of evidence for my project. What I need to do here is I need to tell EasyBib if I'm using a website, a book, a video, a journal, a database, or something else. In this case, I'm using a website that I found. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place the link for the website, and I'm going to hit Cite It. Once I hit Cite It, it's going to give me some options. EasyBib has detected that I'm possibly using this full website. It looks like this is the accurate website, and so I'm going to hit Yes, cite this. Once you click Cite This, EasyBib is going to give you a list of things that they were able to find about the website. For example, they were able to tell me that it's history.com. They were able to give me the article title on the website. They were able to tell me the publisher, which is A&E Television Networks, when my article was published on the website, the day that I visited the website, and then who the author is. So this is a bunch of really good information that EasyBib has already found for me. I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue to the final step. Once I click on Continue to the final step, EasyBib is going to ask me for any additional information that I can give. Source type, it's a website, so I'm going to leave that alone. Article, French Revolution. The author, they didn't really have an author because it was just a website. But if on the page you visited an author was listed, then you'd want to go ahead and add the author's name. Sometimes there's going to be an author, sometimes there's not going to be an author. So you might be filling this in or you might be leaving it blank. For my particular article, let's just go ahead and double check, but I don't think we had an author. For my particular article, sometimes the author might be listed at the top of the website or the bottom of the website, and I'm checking, nope. For my particular article, there's no author. So I'm going to go back to EasyBib, and I'm going to leave that blank. Website title, EasyBib has filled it in. Publisher, EasyBib has filled it in. The link, they filled it in for me. Electronically published. It was published in 2009. I can go back to the website and check if they gave me a date, as in a day and month. So let's check that because I forgot to check that. So I'm scrolling here and I'm looking to see if I can find any dates. Dates are normally located at the top and bottom of the website, just like the author. And I'm sorry, just ignore that. Nope.
That's why filtering.
No dates either, so I'm going to leave that blank. Now I'm going to click on Create Citation. If there had been some additional information here that I could have found on the website, then I would have filled it in, but there was nothing I could find, so I'm going to click Create Citation. Once I click Create Citation, here is the citation that EasyBib has created for me. I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and this is exactly what I want to throw into my PowerPoint. So on the Works Cited page, I'm going to actually get rid of all 5 links. I'm going to get rid of the 5 links because I technically don't need those 5 links here. Technically, I should have only used 2 sources for my project. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and insert the EasyBib source that I was just given on the French Revolution article. So let's take that here. I'm going to copy and paste that information. This is the citation that EasyBib gave me for this very first source that I decided to use. Now, when you cite the sources, you're going to leave the first part of your citation right there, but then I need to go ahead and provide double spaces in between the other lines. And I need to go ahead and also indent. So my first citation should look like this, double spaced, and then indentions after the first line. Now, I already used this particular website, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Let's say that I'm not going to use these 3 websites because they were websites that I didn't want to use. But let's say, for example, that I did end up using this bottom website. This is going to be source number 2. I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm going to go back to EasyBib. On EasyBib, I'm going to go ahead and tell them if it was a website, book, video, journal, database, or something else. Now, I used a website again, so I'm going to go ahead and enter in the website. It's telling me, hey, Miss B, is this your website? Yep, that's my website, so I'm going to click Cite This. Once I've clicked Cite This, it's going to, again, tell me the information that they found for me. I'm going to click on Continue to the final step. Now they're asking me again, hey, Miss B, is there anything that you can add? Now, if I remember checking the website, there was no additional information, but EasyBib was able to kind of go ahead and already find some of the authors for me. EasyBib was also able to go ahead and write me a date that this article was published. I'm going to hit Create Citation because there's nothing else I can add. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to copy the citation. Control Copy. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. I'm going to give a space and paste this information. Now remember that I should be double spacing all the information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to space, space, and space. And then remember that the first line of my citation should be left alone, but all the other additional lines should be indented. So I should be indenting, double spacing, indenting, double spacing. Let's fix this here. Awesome. So here is my citation. This is the last article that I used. I'm going to delete that article because I don't need that article there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my citations. I'm going to center them so it's nice and centered. And now basically anyone can go to my Works Cited page and they can see, oh, Miss B used this piece of evidence. She used this source, the historychannel.com on French Revolution. She used this for one piece of evidence. And she also used this website as well for another piece of evidence. They're going to know that these are 2 different sources of evidence because of the format. They can see this is where the first piece of cited evidence sources is listed, and this is the second piece of cited sources of evidence. Okay. Now that I've created my Works Cited page, I still need to go back to my cover slide to list the names of the 2 sources. Now, this particular source was from history.com. So I'm going to write history.com. I'm not going to provide the link. I'm just providing the name of the source. This particular piece of evidence came from CNN because that's the website I was on. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to type CNN. Let's format this so that it looks nice. Awesome. So what I've done is I took the list of 5 links. I narrowed the links down to 2 links that I wanted to use for my essential question. I created the proper MLA citation for those 2 links and formatted it appropriately. And then I came to my cover slide and I provided just the names of those 2 websites or those 2 books or those 2 videos. These are the steps that you should be completing either today or next class in order to complete the project. Remember that when you're completing this, you should be going to the website easybib.com. And when you go to easybib.com, you need to tell EasyBib if you're using a website, a book, a video, a journal, a database, or any of the other options that you chose to possibly use as a source for evidence. Once you've selected the source type that you're using, you're just going step by step through filling in the information required or clicking on continue. This concludes how to create a Works Cited page, and this also concludes how to incorporate the names of the 2 sources into your cover page. If you have any additional questions, please check in with me or Mr. Orozco.